Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everybody. Welcome to the Connected Inc. event 2020. My name is Faik. I'm leading the branded business at Wacom, and it is a great pleasure to be with all of you. With the topic, how chaos and creativity leads to new beginnings. This is really something, a topic we choose by purpose. What we would like to do in the next 20, 25 minutes is to give you some insights from Wacom. That means I have with me together team members, Mike Jelinek from Europe, Rajiv Malik from India, Isaac and Cecilia from China. And we are going to talk about deep dive topics which we are maybe facing since the last 10 months, which are maybe here in this case also our topics we are driving, as I said, inside of Wacom. Just to again, kick off this topic. I think the performance in the beginning was great, and Nobu also mentioned this. We are talking this time about chaos, and our goal is in this case in this session to show you how we are using chaos and creativity, as I said, to drive beginnings. The event is something exceptional. It's going to be an online and offline event. We are starting with the online part, and the offline part is going to come tomorrow, European time, but and then also Japan and US time, where we are going to have online performance on stage in Tokyo. But until then, we are going to continue to really stream here from Europe, from the US, from Japan, from China, all over the world. That means it's going to be a 24-hour session. Our main three topics we would like to discuss with you and give you some insights are, first of all, of course, our creative community and how creativity is doing currently during this time. The second topic is going to be about education. That means education is one of the top topics, especially here during this time of COVID, but also about the digital transformation. This is also something where we would like to give you some insights. The third topic is what is also impacting directly us, remote working. As you can see, Mike is at home, I am at home, etc. That means remote working is something in one way we are driving, but on the other side also we are living day by day because of the situation what we have today outside with COVID-19. I would like to start first with the creative topics. That means with Mike Jelinek. Mike is in creative and he is in product marketing at Wacom. And with this, Mike, maybe you can give from your side insights, the creative community, how is the creative community going with the situation, how they are using this chaos in combination with creativity to have a new beginning, new start.
Thank you, Faik, for having me here. It's kind of a funny situation for most of our creatives because usually most of us, we work as freelancers. So we are used to work from home or from our studios or offices. So that shouldn't be anything new what is happening to all of us in a way. However, there is something new. Even the big studios, they used to have big halls full of creative designers, animators, and so on. Right now, they're looking for the way to work remotely. And that is changing slightly or maybe significantly the way we work. And also, what is happening, it helps us to understand what was really valuable on being able to meet each other to work all together. And we are learning about the importance of the physical interaction of the content we are creating. We love to rearrange the images on the notice boards, on the presentation walls. We love to talk to each other. We love to use our body language. And all these things we are suddenly missing. Although we were used to work from homes and from the offices, the visual art in general is kind of an introvert type of work. So that shouldn't be kind of anything negative for most of us, but we are missing that physical part of it. So definitely for us, this is all new experience, but also it's the opportunity to learn.
How is it during this time without any events, without having coming together? That means what does it mean for the creative process and especially also for being creative? Let me say it this way.
Yeah, that's a very good question because despite the fact that we love to work by our desk and being isolated in our offices, we love to meet each other and to share the pains, the stories, the successes, to meet with the people. will introduce us to new projects and so on to get inspired. And definitely, this is the part we are all missing. And as everything is moving online, we're also adapting to it and learning to leverage this media in a better way than we were able to do a year ago. And that's an interesting thing because the technology didn't change that much, but the way we are using it changed significantly. And I had to make that experience as well because I'm supposed to deliver some education activities as well, and I've been struggling with that just by sitting and staring at the screen without having a physical contact with students. That was frustrating for me. But I have learned that there's a way to overcome it, and I'll build up a stand-up pod where I can stand and talk and use my body language, even if I'll talk to a virtual audience. So that's the brand new experience for me, and I think I'm not alone in this one.
Yeah. And what is the message you would like to send to the virtual audience as going forward?
Yeah, that's really. Thank you for that question, because when we had a chance to be together, kind of the creative chaos, the ambiguity, we used to play with it. It was something happening naturally, organically when we met with each other, because each opinion, each person had a different way to understand and see things, and that created those creative clashes, that randomness that sparked the other ideation. And it might be difficult for all of us to kind of come up with that spark of the ideation when we are alone in the home. So we need to learn to embrace the ambiguity as part of the creative process and leverage the digital tools that allow us to play with the ambiguity, with randomness, in a way that we don't risk too much. And that's the biggest value of the digital technology. It's not allowing you to repeat your mistakes or correct your mistakes. It basically allows you to make them for free. So go out and play. Well, you don't need to go out because all is in there.
Great. Thank you, Mike. Let me jump to the education topic. I think we all are impacted. Our children are impacted, and in this case, because COVID situation was led that schools were closed during this time. I think all over the world, and this is a pattern we can see really all over the world. And with this topic, I would like to really hand over to our team in China, which is here in this case Isaac and in Cecilia. In China, Isaac and Cecilia, they drove a program for the education industry, and then also, of course, for students, teachers, and universities and schools, really to engage here with the community and build and drive here a program together to overcome the situation. With this, maybe to you, Isaac and Cecilia, just share with us your experience and your thoughts.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, the opportunity.
Thank you, Faik. Hello, everyone. Yeah, actually, back to February this year. So due to the pandemic, everyone is locked down at home. Students and teachers, they need a new tool to be online and to transform from their offline classroom to a digital classroom. So they need a new tool to write and to recognize their knowledge on their daily study. So that's how we identify these needs from our customers. So what we do is we provide our hardware and software to our customers, and also we provided a lot of online streaming and such kind of projects to them to show how to very quickly adopt these new tools and new trends during this situation. Yeah. So yeah, as regarding to product.
Yeah,
we have,
even though we have seen this situation is getting better in China right now, but we still see this digitalization of education is irreversible, and many teachers, many students are accepting this approach to study, and they are quickly pick it up, and they think this is quite intuitive to use our pens and our tablets to do the e-learning at home.
Great. How is the situation in China now?
The situation is actually many of the students can get back to the get back to the school right now, but there's some still there's some limitation. For example, they cannot get out of school and they have to report to show their health code. But the after school tutorials, they still keep going on. But this time, the after school tutorial become all online because they still keep distance to other people's.
That means there is a transformation in a hybrid teaching, online in combination of offline, and this is also going to continue in the future. Even the pandemic is under control in China. Let me say it this way.
Yes, it's in the control in China, but we think this trend and this demand is really irreversible.
Yes, during this process, we have a lot of partners join Wacom, not only to provide hardware and software to our customers, but also we are developing new solutions together. So actually, Connected Inc. During this event, global event, we have so many partners that are developing deep technologies with Wacom new technology, and we are bringing more innovative and cut-edging technology solution to the end customers.
Great, thank you very much to Isaac and to Cecilia and in China, and also for sharing with us really the situation, what you're driving in China. With this, I would like to hand over to Rajiv and hear more about the topic remote working. I think a lot of us are working from home, are working remotely. That means we are staying there and we are not in the typical environment. We are not able to meet face to face, and we are doing Zoom sessions, meeting, Microsoft Meetup sessions, and other video conferencing sessions. But on the other side, it is also in a way that this being at home is having challenges in a way. And here again, for us, on one side, we as Wacom team members, which are also globally, we are working mostly from home. On the other side, our customers, partners are also working from home. And with this, we would like to explain this on the example of India. And with this, handing over to Rajiv.
Yeah, in India, there was a panic when the hard lockdown was announced by the government. So there was no time government decided that from tomorrow, there's a hard lockdown in entire India. So there was a chaos, complete chaos, especially in education and corporate sector. In everywhere, there was a chaos. So gradually, our communication started increasing within the friends from different corporate world, different sectors. So, communication in the sense that how do we operate, do we communicate? It was phone and various ways people were trying to figure out how to have an effective communication, because business cannot stay off for long. So then internally we thought of, sharing the ideas among our ex-colleagues and, different corporate companies, how to communicate. Started supporting them in their internal communication, taking the ideas from education sector, because we already knew that in education, remote learning, distance education, these tools are widely used, digital pen displays and all. So we just wanted to try it out and try to support our customers, our existing customers, how they can have effective operations internally. So in the process, what we got is a lot of learning from them. We distributed a couple of samples to them and then took the feedback. And that was the learning for us. And we also adopted a lot of things from them. For example, we didn't know certain things, what our customers or the corporate world now, after it's been almost more than 6 months now, what we have learned from them is that there are various applications within corporate. Like one is some of the companies are using Wacom products, especially Wacom One, for training during the launch of new products, training to their staff, frontline associates, partners. So for training, it is being extensively used. What we initially thought that it will be for internal meetings, conference calls, whiteboard kind of application only, but then it is beyond that as well. So whiteboard and interactive communication. That is the basic necessity right now. I won't say that people are trying to figure out, it is already there. Now, many companies are doing much more frequently that kind of communication, which they used to do when they were physically there in the offices. So because anytime one can have without any, proper long-term or mid-term planning. So training is one thing, whiteboard. The meetings initially used to be very, tedious, boring, trying to figure out just PowerPoint. So there was less of an interaction. So teamwork was missing, I would say. So now what we learn from them is that teamwork is great when they interact. There's a proper two-way interaction within the team. There's a lot of interaction. So that is one application, and customers are now, I mean, corporate or education, they are now so comfortable that they are so well connected. It's a human visible now. Apart from that, we also saw the application extensively being used in corporate, like signature, printer. Like not everybody, we never thought about this kind of application, that each individual need to have a printer. Very rarely in India, we don't see printers at home. There's a space limitation and it is not required actually. So, but then work from home has a challenge, how to communicate through documents. So signatures, form filling, especially at the senior management level. This is what is now being, this application is widely being used now. Signing, there's no printer required, no maintenance. And then, one important point which we learned from them is there's no generation loss, what they call generation loss, especially IT guys, that you take the printout, then you signed, fill the form, do the signature, again scan. So there's a quality loss also, which they call generation loss. There's a quality loss, then it requires time, there's a cost involved. So we recognize 3 different applications from the users. One is whiteboarding, interaction, trainings, and then paperless workflow, all those things. And now over a period, all the things are so integrated in there. So the communication, even within Wacom India team, we don't feel that kind of difference when we communicate with each other. And the same inputs what we are getting from feedback we are getting from other companies like Canon, Sony, and many more in India. So I feel this will continue. This is a long-term thing. When everything goes normal, so this is going to stay as a hybrid, solution. So people are loving it. They are liking it. It is sort of a transition what we saw long back from analog to digital. So it's sort of similarly, people have adopted that, especially in display. Sorry, it is a bit lengthy. I'm talking a lot. Especially, when it comes to display products. So second screen, this is another very good feedback we got from the users, that second screens become very important now. Not very important, but it adds a lot of value, not just as an input device, but also as an output device. So
let me ask one question. Are people comfortable to turn on the camera? I think that was maybe in the beginning not a topic, but this is maybe also something what we are seeing more and more in Europe, that people are still struggling to turn on the camera during online calls, remote working.
See, if it is what I feel is that when it is a small team, there's a regular communication, then they are free. But they would like to switch on and off, toggle the camera on and off.
Good. I think we have this challenges again all over the world, and this is also the reason why we said how chaos and creativity is really leading to new beginnings. And this is an example of a new beginning out of India. In this case, how remote working is working, but we know also we have this kind of patterns and pictures all over the world. And again, the 3 main topics where we are looking at the moment is really as a company in these 3 examples is, first of all, of course, the creative community, the creative professionals, the education, I would say society and the education ecosystem, and of course the remote working. These are just 3 examples to show how we as Wacom are trying to live with the situation, how we are engaging with our partners, with our customers, but also, of course, in this case, with new, I would say, connections, and try to really lead this in new beginnings, as we said before. With this, Mike, Isaac, Cecilia, Rajiv, do you have anything else you want to share with the audience before we are closing this?
I may have a short message for you guys.
Yes, Mike, you jump.
So we're all creative.
Actually, we are.
Oh, go on.
It's
Mike.
echoing.
Yeah.
Mike first.
Mike first. You go first.
It's going to be short. I just want to say that sometimes we kind of keep stressing out that we are focusing on a creative market, but we should say we are all creatives. And it's not about being artist or designer or an architect. It's also about being a teacher or neurosurgeon. If you're a medical doctor, you may use for sketching, and I'm currently working with people that are medical doctors, and they prepare their surgeries, and they use pen and paper or Wacom devices to sketch out their way, how they will dig through your chest. And this is quite important. We all are creative, and that's the message I wanted to share.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. Go on.
The message we want to deliver is that we always know that hardware solely is not always good enough for customers or for users. So our strong capability is our ink technology. We have the wheel technology, and we have this kind of SDK to support our application and our software developers. So we can help the ink technology show in the digital world a better way, or to show it as true as the analog approach. And that's our commitment to this education sector, to help them improve their education level, to help them improve the quality or the efficiency in the process of education.
Yeah, and I really recommend the talk of Faik and Heidi, and to show us how Wacom is shaping the future of education. Our pen is mightier than the keyboard. Thank you.
Good. Thank you to all of you. Thank you really also for sharing this. And again, this is just a snapshot from Wacom teams all over the world. We are going to continue to have a second session about this topic. I think this is going to be tonight, European time, early morning Asian time, but in the afternoon US time. And then we are going to have Korea here in this round, and US and Australia, also to share about their experiences. In addition to this, again, we just kicked off the Connected Ink 2020. It is really, really a wide program with partners, with really creatives, with people from education market, with software companies, etc., and really great performances, which are going to show us also in this case, the orchestration of chaos, if it's possible, and then on the other side also to get your feedback, but to in this case start together with you in combination of creativity and use the momentum what we have today in 2020. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening, and please stay healthy, and talk to you very soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.